Hello, friends. Very good evening. So, today is my 17th episode of Moonlighting session where we do vibe coding and where I create micro-saas apps and mobile apps just using vibe coding. So, those of you who don't know about vibe coding is using AI for building your apps. So, we use vibe coding by using existing LLMs uh, like ChatGPT, GPT-4 API from OpenAI. But for my vibe coding, I use Gemini API for vibe coding, and I use Visual Studio Code. So I'll share all the setup and everything with you in just a minute. But before I start that, I want to share that this live stream session happens in the weekdays between 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. And it is a moonlighting session, and it is for the people who are either software developers or who are preparing to be the software developers who are interested in the field of software engineering, etc. Right? So in this live stream, you will learn about building apps. You will learn about building micro-saas apps. You will learn about building mobile apps, right? And I'll show you everything live. But at the same time, you can also connect with me. You can have chat with me. You can ask your questions. You can share your thoughts. You can give various ideas and things like that, right? So let's start my today's 17th episode of live coding. And those of you who are confused like why it is 17th episode, so I'll quickly share. Let me quickly change my screen. And so I have another YouTube channel where I have been doing my other live stream. So prior to this episode number 17, I was doing the live streams on this channel, and here I have done the live streams till episode 16. So beyond that, from episode 17 on, I'm doing in this channel. So let's quickly begin there, right? So let me quickly first set up the VS Code for the vibe coding, and let me show you how you can also do it. Okay, so for that, first thing we need to do is install an extension called Cline. So for that, those who don't have this extension installed, you can just go to this extensions panel in your VS Code and just search for Cline, right? And after you search for Cline, in a minute, you'll see this extension listed here, right? And make sure you recognize this symbol. It's like a face of a robot symbol. And this extension, you can just, there will be an option to install it, I think here or here, right? You could just click on install and you'll get the extension. Now beyond that, what you need to do is you need to come to Cline, and by default, you'll not have any API connected to it, right? So for that, what you do is you click on this settings icon, right? And then here you can select any provider that you want to use. So if you want to use any OpenAI based LLM API, you can use OpenAI, or you want to use Google Gemini like I do, and plus Anthropic for Claude and even DeepSeek. So there are various options here for you to connect any of your API and use it. So on my case, I'm using Google Gemini, and I have also already and just below it here you have option to paste your API key, and I have already pasted my Gemini API key. So if you select any other, for example, if you select OpenAI, then here you have to paste your OpenAI key, right? API key. So let's quickly coming out of this, right? So this way we can start working with this Cline extension to build our apps. Okay, so how do you start a chat? Generally, you will have an option to start the chat from here itself, or you can just click on this plus icon, and if you are already in any existing chat, and you can just click on this plus icon and it will start the chat for you. Okay, and yeah, one more important thing is to select the model, right? So for example, for Google Gemini, there are all these available models for you to code, right? So here I have selected Gemini 2.5 Pro preview 6/5, which is June 5th of June it was released, right? So this 2.5 Pro I have selected, and or I can also change to Flash 520, right? So either of it, if I want to use Flash or if I want to use Gemini 2.5 Pro, I can just quickly switch it from there. Okay, and it doesn't matter, within the same chat you can switch the model and you can start working with that. So so for our use case, let's start with the Gemini 2.5 Pro. Okay, and also there are two modes for using Climb. There is a plan mode and there is the act mode. So by default I tend to always start with my project in the plan mode, and then as you can expect, the plan mode is just for, you know, a planning slash chatting, right? To have some discussions with your LLM, like where you are designing the architecture, and in general trying to make LLM understand which kind of project you're working on, right? I'll show it to you in more detail. In a very practical way, you'll understand why we use it. And then when we switch to the act mode, the one very important distinction is in the plan mode, you cannot client cannot read or edit any of the files, right? But in act mode it can. In act mode it can create new files, read files, edit files, and etc. Even delete files. Okay. So right. So let's do one thing. Since today is kind of our first stream in the channel, so let's create some sort of a simple app, right? So just like a warm up thing, where I'll show you like how everything which I've told you just now. So on VS Code, using client extension, how we actually build the apps, etc. Right? So today, let's start with like a app which I'll try to finish within the today's stream, and it is not like a full-fledged micro-saas apps. And by the way, it's a vibe coding, right? So I don't have any idea, any predetermined goal that what kind of app I'm going to build. It's about, you know, as you go, you know, as you build, you're like whatever the vibes are, you know, based on that you just keep on doing it. Okay. All right, so let's do one thing. First thing is, let's add a folder, right? So let's create a new folder. Okay, and let's name it vibe code app, right? Because today's app is just about, you know, showing you how the vibe coding works, what potentially you can do with it, right? I cannot show everything that you'll do with it, but potentially what can you achieve with it, right? Whatever I can show within today's session, which is from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. right? Right. So okay, so I have my folder already added here, and if you see, my folder is added here under the workspace. Okay, so what kind of app we want to create? Now, before we start, right, I want to have some sort of a general plan to create this app. Now today I had, you know, for this particular stream, I had set up this overlay, right? So you might see in my this live stream, there is like a overlay graphics here, right? This is a overlay, right? So I'm thinking to create a overlay editor, right? So it's like an editor where you can add bunch of elements, and at the end you will get like an overlay out of it, right? Very similar to Canva. If few of you are among, if few of the people among you are designer, then you know, right, that Canva is a website where you can like design graphics and so on, right? So let's try to come up with some sort of a app within today's live stream, which does very similar thing. Okay. So hi, I am YouTube live stream. So let me first focus on writing this prompt, and then after I have written this prompt, I'll definitely explain you what I'm doing here. Okay. Okay, so this is my sort of a very basic idea, right? And again, since it's vibe coding, so we are not very much bogged down about the details, right? About each and every like very small details, like how it will look, what colors it will use. So idea is we are not starting with a design like a Figma or something like that, right? We are starting with an idea, right? We are starting with a vibe, okay? And we'll just keep on sort of keep flowing within that vibe, right? I know it's a little poetic, but so let me read my prompt. Hi, I'm a YouTube live streamer. I'm creating live streams for which I also add overlay graphics to make it look more professional. I want to build, sorry, spelling. Build an app that will let me create my own overlay graphics. This app must allow me to add videos, images, and text. Also let me layer those on top of each other or any order I wish. And finally, it should let me download my overlay as a movie or image. Okay, so let me explain it to you what I'm trying to achieve here, right? So so it's an overlay builder, right? Overlay graphics builder, right? So as you can see in my live stream, so if you see there's this sort of a border which has this animation graphic going on, right? So it's called overlay. Okay, so how these overlays are created? So these are basically like videos or image, right? Sometimes they also have text. So these overlays are essentially like can be built by layering various media on top of each other, right? Like video, image, and things, and they can be layered on top of each other. Okay, and so that's what I'm mentioning. And then layering, I want to control, like if I want text above media below, or if I want media above text below, like things like that, right? So these kind of layering I want to control. And then ultimately I want to download it, and if there are video, then it should be downloaded as a movie, right? And it should be the length. Okay, by the way, so there is a detail which I just caught, right? And I'm expecting LLM to take care of it. So the detail here is a video will have a certain length, right? Certain duration, like it would be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, right? So when I download my final export, the expectation is the export has to match with the length of the video, right? Now this is something which I'm not gonna specify, and I'm hoping and expecting that Gemini 2.5 Pro will be intelligent enough to take care of these kind of details, right? So yeah, and if there is no video used inside of it, so it can be downloaded as a static image, right? So there will be no sort of movement, no animation, nothing. Okay, so this is an idea for the app. Now so I explained Gemini about the app, right? But what is the next step that Gemini should do for me? So I'm going to explain it that. Okay, so basically I wanted to create a new file called capital develop.md, develop.md, right? Where it will store a development plan for me. Okay, and within this development plan, there will also be sort of milestones that while we are building the app, so it should be built like in step by step, right? So there will be certain milestone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, bunch of milestones where we can sort of track the overall progress of this app. Okay, so I think I have enough like good enough prompt. So I have a sort of a context where I'm explaining what this app is supposed to do, and then I'm also giving it a task that this is the task that it need to be done. Okay, and I'm clicking on go. So I'm hoping the Gemini would respond to my request now. And again, guys, if you have any questions, thought, doubts, like whatever, if you're connected with me in the live stream, we can drop it over the chat. Or otherwise, if you're not able to connect live and you're you're watching this as a recording later, so you can drop it as a comment for the video, and yeah, so and I'll try to respond to that. Okay. Right, so it has sort of created this milestone. So let me quickly read through the feedback that we got from the Gemini. Of course, I can help you with that. Here is a development plan that outlines the features, technology stack, and milestones for building your overlay graphics application. I'll create a development MD file, right? And then it has sort of laid out the contents for the development MD file. And does this plan look good to you? Once you approve, please toggle to act mode so I can create develop for you, right? So see, this is something which client takes care of, right? We had started this in the plan mode, and here, as you can see, the AI has clearly understood the task, and it has also created like a neatly formatted in a markdown format a development plan with milestones as we have asked for it to do, right? But it cannot write a file because it is in plan mode, and there is a limitation. So that's why it has asking me to now switch it to the act mode, so it can write that development MD file for us, right? So I'll do just that, and I'll just switch it over to the act mode, and now it knows. So just clicking on the act button, it has been switched to the act mode, and it knows about it, and then it started writing this develop MD file for us. So let's quickly finish. So by the way, those who don't use client, so let me quickly explain what this window is about, right? So here, what I'm looking at is a diff view, okay? So if you're already in programming, you know, if you have been using Git or any kind of version control system, so there is a diff view where you know what has been removed and what has been added. The lines which are removed are mostly in red, and the lines which are added are mostly in green. Now here it's entirely new file, so that's why you are seeing that everything, like entire from top to bottom, everything is in green, right? So it's because it's a new file. Now here I also got an option to either save or reject this execution that just happened. That means creation of this new file, right? So it has asked the question, client wants to create a new file, right? And I can save it or reject it. If I save it, the file will be saved on my local disk within the project folder that we have selected, or if I reject it, it will not be saved at all. So let me just click on save. Okay, so the file has been saved, and let's quickly look at this markdown file. Okay, and it has already gone ahead with the next step, although I don't want it to. Okay, we'll come to the next step. Let's quickly review the file that is created, the development plan, the milestones, and all these, right? The Vibe Code App Development Plan Project Overview, a web-based application that allows you to I'm very quickly reading it through, right? I'll not read each and every line, just a starting few paragraphs and then major points, right? So a web-based application that allows YouTube live streamers to create custom overlay graphics. Users can add and arrange various media elements like videos, images, and text, and then export the final composition as a video or image file, right? So this is exactly what we wanted, right? And then core features. So there will be a canvas-based editor, media library, element properties, layer management, timeline, export functionality, sort of, you know. Then it has also suggested us a technology stack. So a framework is like React.js, Canvas. It has suggested some of its own library, conva.js for managing 2D canvas, right? I don't know, right? I have never worked with this conva.js library, so I'm not sure like what's going to be end result here, but it is its own suggestion, and I'm letting it just wing with it. Okay, state management, just stand, styling, tailwind CSS. Okay, so far it looks good. The only problem here is that I don't want it to use just any React.js. I want it to build it on Next.js. So we'll because here it has already started with the command for npx create React app, right? So that is where we have I want to stop it there, and I wanted to tell that no, I want it to be a Next.js app. So I'll do that, but let me quickly go through other milestones. Basic canvas editor, right? Then image and video integration, then image and export functionality, and polishing and user experience. So fairly a decent app. Like it's not like a basic to-do application. It has sort of a moderate amount of complexity, although everything can be managed purely on the front end. We actually don't need a backend feature for this app today. So that is why it is like easier to build within one single session. right? Anyway, so moving on, I'll just quickly, I'll reject this, okay? And before rejecting, I'll also give it a prompt. So I'll give it the prompt that using React.js is good. However, I want it to be a Next.js app. So create a new Next app. Okay, right. So and I'll reject this. So when I rejected it, my the prompt, this new prompt has also went in. Along with that, that I have rejected this, right? So it knows I have rejected it, and the reason of rejection is the prompt which I just sent it. Okay, and it has given us a feedback. User wants to use Next.js instead of create React app. I need to update development file MD to reflect this change, and that's what it does, right? So as you can notice now here in the diffuse, very clearly visible that in the red what it has removed, in the green what it has added. So here we have like a background highlight which suggests that this is the line which has been modified, right? And then there is a highlighted word which suggests that this is the word which has been removed. Same way here in the green, a highlighted background which suggests this line is where it's changed, and the highlighted word in green means this is the new word that is added, right? So basically it replaced React with Next.js, okay, everywhere. So everywhere throughout the project it has done that, so it's good to go. And it is now suggesting to run the new command, which is this next create next app. So let it do that. Okay, so it has given us the entire command, right? Now it is completely up to us that we want to run this command. Okay, you can also copy this, right? So you can just like copy it like this and paste it yourself. I can click on run command, where it will open its own terminal and run the command for you. Now the good thing is, if you use this run command feature, whatever the output is will be captured by the client itself, right? So that way you would be saving some time. That otherwise if you copy and run this command yourself, then the client wouldn't know the output of this command, right? So it's better that we let it run the command itself. So we click on run command, and here it's my Mac issue. See, it has captured the output and it has understood that there is some issue happened. So that's why it is let me quickly okay, let me kill this. This one again. Okay, I think this command didn't got ran properly because there was some issue happened and it couldn't identify anyway. So we will manually run this command because we need to create our next app and we need to do that, right? So let's create this command manually. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, instead of letting it create all the app here, right, we'll ask it to create it under a directory called app. Okay, or let's call it web app, because there will be another directory called app within that directory, so which might confuse us. So it's better to call it give it a directory called web app, and the entire Next.js project will be created under that web app directory. And these are some standard Next.js creation flow. So again, if you have any question or doubt, like if you're not able to understand something what is going on here, you can ask me a question over the chat, and I'll try to respond you. Okay, so as we can see here, we have got this web app directory created, right? And inside this web app, we have actually got our Next.js app already created, right? Now there is some mess up happened is that we have got like some node modules folder outside. So I'm gonna delete it. We don't need this. I'm gonna delete it. This source component directory, I don't need it, so I'm gonna move to trash. Okay, and this thing I'll reject it. But again, before rejecting, I'm going to mention okay, and this source directory is also not needed, so I'll delete that as well, and I'll delete these packages on files because these also are not required. The only thing that is needed is this develop.md file, which is our plan for the project. So under this folder of our vibe code app, this project folder, we have just the develop.md, and the next app is stored inside this web app directory. Okay, so this is how it looks. And before rejecting, I'm going to mention that I have created a new Next.js app inside the web app directory. Make sure okay, so basically what I'm telling is that because earlier when we tried to run the Next.js create command, right, it assumed it has gone through, but which failed actually, and it was thinking that entire Next.js project is within this vibe code app directory, but which it is not, right? But I have manually created it under this web app directory, so I'm just telling it now that the new Next.js app has been already created under this web app directory, and make sure that any change that you do is inside this app directory. Okay, so I'm gonna again reject. Let me just paste this one more time, and just let me paste it one more time. So time to time there are some issues which happen, like there is some error here, but we don't have to worry, right? We can just execute that same prompt again and everything will be fine. No, don't move this. Okay, so I don't want it to move the plan file, okay, but I want it to create everything right, all these things. Yeah, it can definitely do inside it. So now it is running a new command under this web app directory where it is installing this Conva, React Conva and all these things, right? And then now it is creating let me close this. So now it is creating this canvas.tsx file, but that is inside the web app directory, right? Source component. So the structure is correct now, right? It is inside this web app directory, and the canvas component is getting created inside it. So I'm happy with that. So I'll hit save. So my file will get saved, and then it can continue with that. Okay. So basically, this is a workflow that we have given it the instructions. Now it will just keep on writing the files, and we will just keep making sure that whatever the changes it is doing, and we just keep on letting it do those changes, and we'll just keep on clicking save. So with each save, then the project will keep continuing. Okay, I have not completed the first 2 tasks for milestone 1. Okay, so as you can notice that it is keeping track of the tasks that we have mentioned in the milestone, right? So that's what it has mentioned. So in the develop for the first milestone 1, there were 2 tasks: initialize a new Next.js project and integrate this, right? So it knows it, right? It keeps that sort of track of it. It knows it that it has done these 2 tasks, and that's what it is mentioning here. So I've created a basic canvas with a draggable rectangle, and I'll now run the development server to show the result, right? So it is trying to run this Next.js server now, so that we can see how this app is looking. So it has run the Next.js app. It has basically given us a command to run the Next.js app. I've run this command, Next.js app is running, and using this command I'm going to now test my app running on the localhost 3000. And there is this error. Okay, so what we have to do is we would just copy this error and we'll share it with this, that I'm getting this error. Right, so friends, even if you are doing vibe coding, right, there will be errors, there will be bugs. It's part of it's a very standard procedure for any development process, right? So whenever you see a bug or you face an error, you don't need to like get panicked or think like AI is useless or something like that, right? It's a very standard procedure. What you gotta do is you gotta take that bug, take that error, and share that with the LLM, and they are smart enough to identify the issue and resolve it for you. Okay, so see, here was a simple, I think, mistake of some imports, right? So that's what it has fixed, and we are hoping that with this change it will get the app working. Which is still not there, so no problem. We can just copy this over again and share it with it. So within today's stream, I hope you are getting a sort of a warm-up about the entire process of our vibe coding, right? That how we do vibe coding, and it want to read the next config file. All right, so basically going on, when we'll be building the app and any other kind of a micro-saas web app or even mobile apps, Android apps, iOS apps, right? So this is the kind of a process, and within today's stream, when you see this process, you'll understand it. So from next stream, we'll be actually started working on our own project, and and we'll go from there. But today is just about sort of trying to show you how this whole process looks, how if the bug comes, how do you resolve it, right? How to make sure AI is understanding what you want and things like that, right? Okay, so let me let it run this command again. Okay, and let's run this app. It's still the error, so we gotta copy it over to the Gemini 2.5 Pro. I think this lib is solution. So see, we can observe that here AI is sort of struggling, right? It has tried to use this React Conva library. Now the problem is, see, we have to understand how this whole process works, okay? So these AIs are actually trained, right? They are trained on a pre-existing data set. So they are trained on some existing code. And when were they trained? It matters a lot, right? Particularly in the JavaScript land, things change very, very fast, right? Those who are JavaScript developer are definitely understanding what I'm saying. in months, right? In couple of months, there is new library, there are new versions of the existing libraries, and there are so much incompatibility changes and everything, right? It keeps on happening. So the thing is, these AIs are mostly trained with some old code base, which is sometimes not compatible in the current day, right? That is where all these kind of breakages are happening. So here I can clearly see it is kind of is struggling with it. Okay, so that's where I have sort of guessed it. So I have now third time when we are trying to fix this solution, I have also gave it a hint that I think this library is not working, and see if there is some other alternative and try with that, because we don't want to get in like a loop where we are just keep on trying to fix the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, so let's see what is the next step that it does. Okay, and by the way, I'm making sure to close my client terminal before running the new command, because there is sort of a bug in client or something that if I try to run the command in the existing open window, it sometimes doesn't work properly. So that is the thing, right? So I'll again close it and I'll again let it run the command. So it launches its own fresh new terminal, runs the command, captures the output, and sends it over, right? So now it has shifted to another library. Now it is using something called Fabric, right? And let's see if this Fabric library is something that with which we can achieve what we are looking for. So it has changed the code also based on this Fabric. So basically, this is the process. I'm showing you guys that how sort of we sort of take a back seat, right? And we let AI do most of the heavy lifting. And the thing is, I know there are multiple ways to do it, right? For example, with Claude, the Anthropic's model, right? There is something called Claude Code. There's something called Claude Code with which you can so it will basically keep on running the code, it will keep on creating the files, it will sort of never ask you anything. But I have been already a developer, so I like to have control in my hands. I like to sort of see what are the code it is writing, what are the files it is creating. So that's why I like the clients this particular interface, where it keeps asking us, before taking any action like editing the file, writing the file, creating the file, deleting the file, it always asks us, right? Otherwise, imagine you gave it the command and yeah, Claude Code, like it keeps on running for minutes, like sometimes 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, right? And eventually when it stops, now you have all these files, the bunch of code in front of you, and you are sort of lost. Like there are 40 files created, right? And you may see the app is running, but it is not behaving in the way which you want it to behave, which is quite often, right? Which happens like quite often. And you want to make some change. Now you're completely lost. How do I make a change? You would again try to instruct the Claude, it will again do something. So there the problem would be that you would be sort of running completely blind, right? Which is not in my opinion, it is not a good way to do the vibe coding, especially if you're already a developer. It's better to have some control over it. It's better. So make your AI sort of your driver, your co-pilot, right? Not like an automation, not like a self-driving car where you are just sitting and the car is driving on its own, right? You tell it, okay, take left, okay, take this turn, okay, avoid this signal and go through some other alternate route and things like that, right? So that is the kind of control we want to have always with us. Okay, and still I'm seeing that it is still struggling. So today's session has actually become quite interesting, that we are seeing AI struggling a lot, and let's see that if AI is able to overcome out of it by its own. Okay, so let's take this error again. Is there no more native? Okay. So again, I sort of gave it a hint. See, with this also we are getting some error, and I'm trying to remind it that we are actually using a Next.js app. So whatever solution approach you're trying to come up with, make sure it is compatible with Next.js, right? Then it is uninstalling this Fabric React as well. So sometimes I'm observing that my this go button gets disabled for some reason. So if it happens to you also, you can just quickly switch this plan and act, so you'll get it enabled again, and your prompting will work, right? So okay, now the strategy it has adopted is that it is not going to use any external library. It's going to write this app using the native HTML5 canvas, right? So basically, if among you there are some front-end developers, you know that HTML5 itself has a built-in support for working with canvas, right? So canvas is like a graphics rendering element, right? In HTML there are various tags, right? So canvas is a tag which creates an element where you can render any graphic, including image, text, some kind of a graphic shader and things like that, right? So it is gonna, okay, so now it has got a success, that at least the Next.js app has compiled and we can see something. And what we are seeing is a very plain canvas getting rendered on this HTML page, right? So basically, now people among you might be thinking, is this an app? So basically, this is not an app. This is the first two these first two line items from our milestone 1, right? Initialize the Next.js project, done. Integrate the native HTML5 canvas API to create a canvas stage, right? So the AI knows its goal, what it was working towards, right? It was trying to achieve this second line, which is integrate the native HTML5 canvas API to this canvas page, right? And that's what it has achieved. So as we can see there, so if I sort of inspect it, right? So if I inspect it, you see there is a canvas created here, right? So that's what AI was trying to achieve, and it has achieved it. I can see the canvas element appearing page. Proceed with the remaining app, right? So I'm sort of giving it a feedback. See, one thing, there is a limitation that whatever is happening within the browser, that this client, okay, let's first understand one more thing, that we are using Gemini API, right? So Gemini API, basically a Gemini a model running in the cloud on Google's cloud, and we are sending it prompts via API, right? We are sending the data via API, right? But there is some sort of a decoration is happening via client. So client here is an agent, right? Client, this client plugin that we're using in the VS Code, right? This extension, it's like an agent, and this agent is helping us with creating some sort of a decoration around our own prompts, right? So it is not sending the prompts which are just as it is. It is decorating these prompts with its own other values, right? Now the limitation here is that client, right? Client itself cannot see the browser, so it is the user's responsibility who sees the browser and then gives the feedback that if it is working or not working. So basically that's what I'm giving it a feedback now, that yes, I saw on the web page there was a canvas element getting rendered. So I guess you're good to go with remaining next steps for your app, right? So let's click on this next now. So basically, if we see here, so it has identified the next tasks, which is of course based on the development plan that we created. So implement functionality to add text, implement functionality to add basic shapes, enable drags, etc. Create a properties panel. So all these things it knows, and basically it is now working on towards these particular line items step by step, right? So see, one thing is here is that we have ultimate control over our app, right? What is happening with this app, what we are doing, where we are currently, what is the next steps that this AI is helping us build, right? So it's all about control, right? If you're doing vibe coding and if you have the control, then you, even if you come up with any issues, even if you face any bugs or whatever, even performance issues, you can always overcome it. You can always guide AI, nudge AI to do it the way you want it to do. Okay, so anyways, it is now keep on creating a bunch of files. So this is where it's sort of on a pedestal, right? It is like full throttle down, right? Metal to the I forgot the saying, which was with so when we like push the accelerator completely down and we just let it let it just go with the fastest speed as possible, and that's what it is doing now. So it is just keep on creating bunch of files with hopefully all the required functionalities that we have just discussed with it. Okay, and very quickly we received this green message. So it's about the UI of the client. So within the client, when AI thinks that it has done the tasks that you asked it, right, then it will show you a message in this kind of a green color, and this is and basically it's summarizing the task that it thinks it has just done. So task completed, I have successfully completed milestone 1 of development plan. Here what has been accomplished. So and it has listed out the things and it is suggesting us that we ourselves look at it. Okay, so let's do that. Let's come to this one and let's refresh the app. And okay, so I think, I mean, I see there are some changes, but of course it is no way usable at all, right? There are, I know if I click on add rectangle, add text, things will work, but it is not, it's not even a bad UI. It's no UI at all, right? So I'll ask it that I see it working, but it need to have at least a basic UI like buttons and things, right? So let's ask it to do that. I can see the functionality to So basically, I've been doing this sort of web development like from past many years. So I have some ideas like what are the things that we can do to add UI, right? So there is like a Tailwind, which is like a CSS library that can be used. Also, there are a few other libraries, right, which we can use here. There is one very popular UI library which is I'm completely forgetting, or I'll just let it or any other UI library. Okay, so basically again it is about control. Now I know where we are and what is the next step. This is the why, right? It is not a pre-planned approach. It's not like a very structured roadmap based approach. It's based on we are seeing what AI is doing, and based on it sort of we are discovering, okay, these are the next steps that we should take. Okay. So it has done some basic UI, I hope. So I saw some changes. I saw like there were some styles and things added. So I'm hoping that we will see something better next time. Okay, so it says there is something more. Okay, much better, right? So now we see the features are same, but there is some sort of a basic UI here to do things, right? For example, if I click on add rectangle, it will add rectangles, right? And by the way, drag and drop is also working, so which is a good thing. And I had actually clicked add rectangle bunch of times, so you can see it has actually added the rectangle a few times, right? And again I have clicked this text thing again, right? And also, as we can see, there is like this basic sort of a properties panel is here, right? So if I click on this box, I can see on this right side, right, there is this properties panel where it is sort of, I think, suggesting us to change the color. We'll test that, right? And so based on whatever I select, the property changes. If I select the text, the property for the text changes, right? Its color and things. Okay, now let's see if the properties panel itself is working. So I select this box and I hope it's a color picker. Yes, it is. And let me change the color, and yes, it's changing. And let me see if I select another box and if the color of that box will be something different. Let's say I want a greenish color, and yes, it is happening. And let's try to change the text now. So let's call it text 1. Okay, it is there. Let's call it text 2. It is there too, right? And okay, let's try to change its color now. So this text color I want sort of in it's not very visible. Let's say this pink color. Yes, it is. And this text I want in orangish, I guess, orange color, and yes, it is, right? So we see a basic feature of this app, right, is there, that we can add elements, we can add these boxes, we can add this text, we can change their basic properties, right? So this is basically, we can say, MVP, right? A minimum viable product of our app. However, it does not have the export feature, right? But this is something, it's getting there, right? We can see what we're trying to achieve, right? The overlay app, right, where we have bunch of elements layered on top of each other. By the way, the layering is missing, although yes, within the canvas there is layer. But what if I wanted this text to appear behind that other box, right? What can we do? Shall I create a new text and will it be there? Okay, so the natural ordering is working, right? Now any new element when I add it is sort of already layered on top always, right? So as we saw, okay, this box, let me color it some color like this aqua color, right? So you can see this aqua color box is on top of every other canvas, right? It also reminds me that there should be option to increase or decrease the size, but anyways, right? And so the natural ordering, okay, so this green box is below it, right? So because green one was created earlier, so there is a natural ordering here, right? What is above, what is below, but we want it to be controlled, right? I want this green to come above it, I want this to go below it. So these things we don't have yet, and let's try to achieve that, right? Okay, I think, by the way, the task that it has told that it is doing, which it has actually done. So it has added these rectangles, text, select and drag. We just saw we can select and drag these. A properties panel is also there. So I think I don't want to, force it to go in a different direction, because it is already in a flow, and I'm pretty sure it has already sort of planned ahead for that the things which I just described, basically resizing these, changing the ordering and things like that. So what I would ask it to just keep going ahead now, and I will not ask that add a resize panel or things like that, because I know these are the things which will be already in the milestone plan ahead, and I'll just let it go with the next set of steps. It looks good. Let's move ahead. Okay, it looks good. Let's move ahead, right? So see the kind of a language I'm using here, right? The kind of the things that I'm telling. It's like you're talking to a junior, you are like a manager, or you're like a boss, and you are instructing to someone, do this for me. Okay, yeah, it looks good, go ahead. No, it's not looking good, make this change. So that is the kind of a sort of a shift which is happening with the advent of this AIs, right? So how the developers are going to be are more like a manager, who would be managing these kind of agents. These are our AI agents, right? So yeah, the developer are managing this. You're not actually actively involved in the coding. You're not like writing each and every code line by line, it's basically a Next.js app, React app. There are various components you have to write, right? You're not, I mean, can you see this sort of a code which is generated? Can you imagine handwriting this code by yourself? It will take so much time, and then a bunch of mental energy will be consumed to write these sort of things, right? But AI is there. AI is there for you. It can do all these things, and what you have to do is you just have to sort of give it a command, right? So you are a commander, right? And you are giving command sort of to your agent, and if you sort of extrapolate it, right? Not just one agent. Why don't you have like as many desktop monitors you can set up with your laptop or within your workstation environment, right? If you have like 5 different monitors, you can have 5 different agents working in each monitor. Maybe one is reading your emails, right? One is building some app, one is building a mobile app, one is creating some marketing plan, one is creating some business strategies. Like the imagination, like there is no upper limit to this thing. Anyways, okay, so it is just going ahead with the tasks, right? The plan, we already have a plan, so it is just working as per the plan. Okay, so it has implemented a drag, resize, and rotation of the rectangles. Okay, so let's quickly test it now. Okay, our app is reset, right? So whatever we created has completely got removed, and it is telling we can resize this, and see, wow. So we have got these handles to resize our objects now, right? When we select it, we can resize them, right? Or we can even rotate. So there is a handle to rotate it, right? See, we can also rotate it. Okay, and of course we can change the color. So I can actually see some sort of a basic thing is already there, right? So this text, although this text cannot be rotated, but let's say I say welcome, and I put it in like white color, right? So some sort of a and imagine this kind of a graphics can be exported, and you can do whatever with it. Like, so we are sort of again slowly, step by step, we are moving there, right? So basically we are making a progress, which is good. So yep, keep going. Okay, So again, I don't want it to like deviate much from its own plan or something, right? It told me that it has already done the resizing. And by the way, if you remember, just before this task, I thought it that it should have resize, and it sort of read my mind, right? And it has created that resizing feature by itself. So that is like a magical experience, first of all, that I was myself thinking that like they should be able to resize these boxes, and voila, that's what I got, right? Without even telling it. So it's like a mind reading kind of, but I had guessed it because it was sort of a feature which was already in the milestone, so it was already there, right? And then it is adding this particular feature now. So we have a milestone, we have a plan, we know where we are, right? I know in terms of this app's features, in terms of its completeness, where we are standing, right? So this is a good way of doing the vibe coding. This is a way where you have all control, where you are like a manager, you are like a commander, and this is an agent which is ready to do the thing exactly that you ask it to do, nothing over or nothing under. And we have very capable model with us. We have this Gemini 2.5 Pro, and it is actually very capable model. It's very smart. It's very it has the maximum context of 1 million tokens, which is like the largest context that you can get in any other LLM. I'm pretty happy, using this Gemini 2.5 Pro model. I'm really happy to use it in my projects. And so let's see by the way, guys, our today's moonlighting session, which happened in the weekdays from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. and today has reached it has just gone past its midpoint, right? So it is past 11 now, right? And I can see, I have sort of this confidence that yes, we are making good progress, and I'm really expecting that today, by the time we end this session, we would have something very much closer to what I was hoping for to achieve with this today's moonlighting session of vibe coding, right? Which is building our own overlay creation app, right? So those of you who just joined, so let me briefly describe what kind of app we are creating. So you can see in my live stream there is this overlay graphics which is running, right? So this is called overlay, and how do you design these overlays, right? So I'm creating an app just to do that. I'm creating an app where I can create my own overlays, and I can export it as a video or as an image, and I can use it with my own projects, right? So this is the app that we are working today. It's not like a basic app. It's an app which sort of a medium complexity, which is a good test for vibe coding, right? For understanding the capabilities of these AI models. And also this is my 17th session. My prior session, from session 1 to session 16 has been already uploaded or live streamed in my another channel, which is this one. If you're interested, by the way, those are in Hindi, and I know most of you are from India, and definitely like 90% of you definitely speaks Hindi there, right? Maybe few not. So yeah, that's there. I understand, but it's in Hindi, and you can watch the 16 moonlighting sessions in Hindi if you're interested. But from today on, I'm continuing with my moonlighting sessions in English and on this channel. Okay, so I have observed this kind of failures happen. These extreme failures happen, and it's like Gemini API is throwing some error, which is but obvious. Like these APIs, they are like they get hit with so much requests, so they sometimes tend to fail, which is completely okay, and then we can just hit retry and just keep moving ahead from there, right? So overall, the process is very smooth, right? It's especially if you're a developer. Okay, so one thing is there. If you're a developer, this thing is like a force multiplier, right? So whatever you are capable of, X, right, times 10 or 100, then again it's like another kind of a new capability to how productively you can manage these AI agents, how effectively or how efficiently you can drive these AI agents to what you want to achieve. There is sort of another dimension added to the existing developers now, right? It's not just they were able to write code, they were smart enough, they can do the system design, they can do algorithms and things. Now this another new dimension is there, and that is, if you can use AI agent, how efficiently can what is the performance while using these AI agents, right? How many at a same time, simultaneously in parallel, how many agents can you manage? Like, what kind of context switching you can do among these agents, right? So it's like another dimension has got added to all the existing developers. So again, the force multiplier now times how much? Like, somebody could be able to multiply themselves like 10x, but there could be someone who could also be able to multiply them like 100x, right? So this is another way to sort of compete among developers. Like earlier, we used to compete based on how smart we are, how hardworking we are, how much algorithms we had practiced and things like that, right? How much experience we have like working as a developer. But now there is another dimension got added, and that is like the force multiplier. How much can you take advantage of this thing, right? Anyways, so now it has again given us this green message. This green message means it thinks it has done this task, and it has also given us a summary what task it has done. So it has now completed milestone 2 of the development plan. So let's quickly open this milestone 2, which is here. So it is basically image and video integration, allow users to upload and add their own images and videos, create a media upload component, implement functionality to add uploaded images, uploaded videos, basic video controls, and a layer management panel is also added. So let's quickly see this. Let's quickly see this in the action. Okay, by the way, here I cannot see anything. How do I upload a video? Is it drag and drop? Okay, so just there is something here. Okay, so basically, see, this is another feedback which I need to give to this AI, because again, AI cannot access our browser, it cannot see what we are seeing. So the eyes for the AI are us right now, right? So as we can clearly see, there is like a usability issue here, that it is sort of put white text on these gray backgrounds, which is not visible at all, right? So there is an option to add media. So if I click, there is a file picker added here, but of course, which is not very visible due to this color contrast issue, right? Which is happening because AI cannot see the browser, right? So we have to help it. We have to give it a feedback. We have to tell it that we have some contrast issue going on a gray background on the sidebars, especially left and right sidebars. You have text in white color, which is completely not visible. So maybe change the background color for these panels and things like that, right? So let's give it that quick feedback. I can see the file picker added, but again, the UI is missing. Also, there is a issue with both the left and right side panels. Yeah, so I just remembered the UI library which we can use, and it is like very popular and very easy to use, and which is shared CN. Use shared CN for the UI components. Okay, so there's my feedback. The feedback is that there is this contrast issue, there is this usability issue. I cannot see what is happening in UI, and I don't blame AI because they don't have eyes, right? They could not access the browser, they cannot see what we are seeing. So of course we have to give them feedback. So I gave it a feedback that there is this contrast issue, and then I also suggested, now this is where U plus AI component comes in, right? So I suggested there is this UI library called shared CN. Why don't you use this library and for existing components and UIs, etc., right? That's what it is doing now, so it is going ahead with that. So let me quickly kill the app and close this terminal and let it run the command. And by the way, guys, those of you who has joined me, I'm completely open to receive any sort of okay, there was something wrong, I guess. Okay, so basically I'm requesting you to please drop any comments if you have any questions, thoughts, ideas, whatever. You can always you're connected with me on live stream. This is a live stream. I'm basically sharing my screen here with you live, and if you have any questions, you can always put it on the chat here. And later, if you're not able to connect with me live stream and you're watching this session as a recording on YouTube, and you can just drop a comment on under the video itself. Okay, so let's keep going ahead. And it is basically now working with this shared CN UI library, and these are the sort of a command that you need to run. You need to add the button and card and so on, right? So it is doing such. It is adding these components, and then it is gonna replace a bunch of the existing UI components with this shared CN library. So it will help us with these kind of accessibility issues and such, right? So let's wait for it to be done with all the changes, which is so right now I exactly know what it is working on. It is using this shared CN library in the existing components. It is replacing those components, UI components, with shared CN buttons and cards and such, right? So this is about control, guys, right? If it was Claude code, it would have been doing things and I would have no idea what it is doing. But here I know. So this is why, everybody have their preferences. So that's why my preference is Climb. And also there is one more popular tool called Cursor. Now, why not Cursor, right? Because Cursor has a limitation that I cannot use my own Gemini API and use it with my, with these models, right? So that is another limitation with which I cannot use Cursor. And the Claude code, which does so much coding and and completely does not gives you any control. I don't like that. So that's why I like Climb, because it gives us both. It lets me use my own Gemini API, and it lets me use my own Gemini API, and it lets me connect to the Gemini server. Okay, we have got a comment here. Let me quickly read it from Latashri. Thanks for this session. I have a query. When we can build the same app using Firebase Studio, why do we need to build here separately? Basically, I'm asking what are the drawbacks. Okay, so here we have Latashri, who looks like a sharp person. Like, thank you for your comment, Latashri. So basically, what you're suggesting me that there is already something called Firebase Studio which exists. And this Firebase Studio is for creating apps. Yes, I know, I'm aware of it. Now, why use that versus this? So as you know, Firebase Studio you can only access over the browser. You need to use your browser to build the app, right? There you have a limitation that everything has to be on a cloud. Now here it is about everything is on your own development machine, and Firebase Studio also does not let you select the model. As per as I know, I'm not very sure about it. I may have to double check it. Right here, if I want to switch between Google Gemini Pro or Flash, so I can do that. All the cost and everything is under my control. Whereas in Firebase Studio, there's no control you have about changing these models, right? And the code which eventually is produced. And by the way, Firebase sort of locks you in that you have to only deploy it, right? They have this publish option where you can only deploy it on their Firebase cloud. But in this, it's your app, it's on your desktop, it's completely you have all the code, you have everything. You can take it and deploy it wherever you want. You want to use it on Vercel, AWS, wherever, right? So these are some sort of like a very broad sort of things which I came up with. That is why why do it this way versus Firebase. But of course, if you have any specific question, like you have some some idea about, okay, we do this thing in Firebase and not here, right? So you can definitely ask me any specific question. I'll try to respond to that as well. Okay, anyways, so let's keep on continuing. So again, shared CN here is adding another component, which is label, and so it will now add these labels. So by the way, there was this error. So to resolve this error, it has added this label. So that will fix that error as well. And let's see where it goes, right? Again, task completed, great. So let's quickly read through what the task was. So I have updated the UI of the application using shared scene UI components. The media library properties panel and layer panel now use cards for a consistent look and feel. The buttons inputs have also been updated. This should provide a much better user experience and resolve the color contrast issue. So this is what it is suggesting us that it has done. Okay, our app is basically not running. So let me quickly run this app. For that, I have to launch a new terminal. So, okay, I have to first seed into the web app. So let's do that, and then let's run this app. Okay, let's refresh the UI. Okay, now we see, like, because I have seen this shared scene UI based components many times, so I know, like, this is how it looks, right? So this is very similar to how it looks. We have this media library now. Your client on VS Code. Okay, I've got another comment. Let me just quickly mention it. So your client on VS Code. Yes, I use client. Yes, so I've responded to that over the chat. Okay. So let's again add a rectangle, do a bunch of things with there. Let's sort of try to rotate it, change its color. I don't know, maybe some aqua color, or okay, this blue, fine. Let's add a text. Okay, now we have a layer. So guys, we have finally got a layer, and what does layer does is basically it should let us rearrange these, right? So it should let us rearrange these boxes. Okay, by the way, there is a bug which I have just identified. Whenever I change the color, it is sort of resetting its size. Not a big problem, but anyways, we have to fix it. So let's try the I want to move this text. Okay, so I can see drag, but there is no drop here, right? We can drag it. Okay, we can drop it. See, that's not very intuitive, but as I can see now you can see the text has actually gone behind this particular box, right? So let me change this text color to like a brown color. Yeah, so we can see this text which gone behind it, right? So let's try to change its position. Okay, now it has gone above everything, right? So we have got a layering, basically ordering, right? Now we can reorder these elements again, right? I'm getting a bunch of comments. Okay, paid version, why don't you go for cursor paid version? What make you choose client over them? Okay, great. So meet study. Let me try to respond to your question very quickly. So I'm not using paid version of client. However, I'm using the paid version of Gemini API, right? So Google Gemini 2.5 Pro is not available for free, right? So to use that, I'm using like I have to pay for the using API usage, right? And why not cursor? Because I have a limitation that I cannot use my Gemini API key from Cursor's free version. I have to buy the paid version of Cursor, but then I have to also pay for my Gemini API usage and also pay for the Cursor. However, if I use client I can use for free with VS Code, and I just have to pay the usage of my Gemini API, right? So that is my understanding. Now if there is something I'm getting wrong here, I'm completely open to your feedback. or you get some kind of free trial for Cursor clients. That's why you are using it. No, I'm not getting any free trial, although with Cursor I did got a free trial of using the chat, the GPT 4.1, right? So I think a month back or so, when GPT 4.1 was just released, so Cursor was giving like some sort of a promotional offer where they were letting you use GPT 4.1 for free. I tried using it, and I could not get it to work as good as Gemini 2.5 Pro. Okay, so I think I have shared all of these in my earlier streams, which was in this channel, right? So this is the episode 17. Now till episode 16 I have already recorded under this channel. By the way, it is in Hindi. If you understand Hindi, you are completely open to watch these streams. So there I have sort of jumped across between these different ways of doing vibe coding, including Cursor and other stuffs. So you can see it there, right? Anyway, so going ahead, okay, we have got this ordering where we can reorder our graphics, right? So that is there. We can resize, we can rotate. Now let's try to choose some image. Okay, let me quickly see this image. Yeah, it looks good. Open it. I've got this image. I add it. It got added. There is a problem because it was actually a huge image, right? So okay, by the way, there is no option to delete anything. So that is one limitation we have got, and I'm pretty sure it should be taken care of it by itself in some time. Let me try to quickly work out this image, although I'm sorry, because it was actually a huge image, and it had appeared in its like complete resolution, which is I guess 1920 by 1080. Right, so let me quickly resize it. And guys, we are just building this app live. There are a lot of usability issues, right? So I hope you'd stick with me. It's just built live, fresh app. So there are sort of like these handles are kind of sometimes not working. I'm not sure why is that, but anyway. So as we can see, we have got this image. We can rotate this image also. Let's rotate this image, place it maybe here, right? So sort of trying to sort of create some sort of a basic composition that you might expect. Okay, this text now is in white color. Let's give it some image, new graphic, right? So basically sort of we are sort of seeing something coming out, as what we were expecting for, right? Some sort of a overlay creation app, right? So okay, those of you who have just joined me, let me quickly again describe what we are building. We are building an overlay app. If you can see my live stream, there is like this graphic going on my live stream, right? So this is called overlay, and to create this overlay, you have like a overlay creator sort of place, right? So that's what we are trying to build. We are trying to build an overlay creator, which is also very similar to how Canva, which is another graphic designing application, right? Which is where you can add a bunch of graphics, add text, layers, things, and sort of reorder them and export them as an image or video, right? So that is what we are trying to build within this entire session, which is started at 10 p.m. and which will end at 12 a.m. midnight. So this 2 hour of moonlighting vibe coding session, this is what we are building now. Okay, I've got bunch of comments. Let me quickly read through. Okay. Great explanation, sir. Can you explain how much monthly are you paying for Gemini 2.5 Pro? आप काम रोक के मत समझो, काम करते करते बता. I just joined. Please, what are you building? Okay, Tissue Animations. I think you have got the response just now. That what I'm building, I have just described it, right? To be honest, Claude models like 3.7 thinkings are insane. This Claude is very good. Yeah, Claude is good, but in my opinion, it is not better than Gemini 2.5 Pro. And it is my personal opinion. The way I like to build apps, the way I do things, it is just preferences. If you like Claude, you can completely use Claude. And by the way, with Klein, the process which I just shown, You can, you can choose any Anthropic model, use your own API key and do it that way as well, right? I'm just more of a Gemini 2.5 Pro user, so I'm doing that, right? Anyways, so it looks good. Like I can see there is this image added. Now let's try to add a video. So I've created this shot. Let me try to add this video now. Okay, so this video have also got added, right? Again, I'm getting some issue with resizing it. But it's not getting resized. Okay, I'm not able to resize it even further down. I'm not sure why. Again, so there is a way to pause it, because I was getting annoyed with the video sound. So I can pause the video, or let me play it and stop it at some interesting screen. I cannot resize it further down. I'm not sure why it is happening, but anyways, but our concept is there, right? We can put this video. Let me pause it now. Okay, right? So there is this video which is here. There is this image which we uploaded here. We can again rearrange this video. As you can see, this video got into the behind layer of these canvas and things, right? So as you guys can see, we are kind of getting in that shape that we have this ability to add image, video, place it on the canvas, resize, rotate, drag and drop them. We have the properties panel where we can change color, right? So let's say this for this particular box, I want to change the color, right? So I can change its color and so on, right? So we have sort of how much approximately you're paying for Gemini 2.5 Pro. Okay. So it is actually API based, right? So for Meet Study, I'm responding to your question. You said how much approximately you are paying for Gemini 2.5 Pro. It is usage based, right? If you are using it very heavily, I have seen my expenses going like up to $200 and such, right? But if you are using it occasionally, if you're using it for small apps and things, you can also, like within $5 per month, you can get pretty good usage. And by the way, 2.5 Pro is expensive, right? So you can use Flash. Okay, so in this particular session, I have only used 2.5 Pro, but generally what I do is I mostly switch between Flash and 2.5 Pro. And if you'll continue with my these live coding sessions in my further live streams, you would see how I sort of manage between these Flash and 2.5 Pro, how I switch them. So that way I can also manage my cost effectively, right? So I'll definitely share all that process with you in my upcoming videos. Okay. All right. So I think we are actually in a good shape, and I'm pretty happy with the progress. So I'll definitely ask the AI to continue. It's making good progress. Let's continue. Okay. So yeah, so basically I did some basic text testing. I tested the features, adding of image, video, resizing them, reordering them and such, right? So all that is done, working nice. So we are actually, so I have not given it any particular predefined goal or anything, right? We have created this development plan and milestone earlier, and that's what it is just following. And so it is just continuing a basis of that. Quite inspiring. Keep going, stay blessed. 5,000 to 1,500 INR. Okay, thank you, Meet Study. Thanks for your blessing, and I hope you'll enjoy this session further, and I hope you'll keep in touch with us. And this is the live stream Moonlighting session, happens in the weekdays, every alternate day, right? Between 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. I'm very happy to have you join us whenever you can. Drop your comments and stay in touch. Okay. Anyways, I've implemented the export as image functionality and updated the UI using components. You can now export as image button. Great, right? So this was the just one thing which was sort of missing from this MVP, right? So we have sort of this apps MVP created. MVP means minimum viable product, and our MVP is like a skateboard version of an entire car. Okay. I think my stream is facing some difficulty, but I hope it will be fixed in some time. And if you're facing some issue due to that, I'm really sorry for it, right? I hope from next time this kind of issue will not happen. But what I'm telling is the MVP is also known as the skateboard version of a car, right? So what is a car? A car is any vehicle which takes you from point A to point B, and it has 4 wheels, right? Other than it has steering, AC, seat, leather seat, and things like that. All those things are like luxury, immaterial. Definition of a car is just 4 wheels which goes from point A to point B. What is the very minimalist version of that? It's called a skateboard, right? Which also goes from one point to other point. It has 4 wheels. So that's why both are doing the exact same thing, but a car takes a huge amount of time. It takes years to design, to develop, to manufacture, a lot of cost, input cost, and things like that, right? But it's skateboard you can build like in a weekend, right? Possibly, if you know how to build it, right? So that's what these MVPs are called, skateboard version of your actual app. So here what we have is like an MVP, right? A minimum viable product, where what we need exactly is what we have. We need a way to add graphics, add image, video, resize them, reorder them, change some of its properties, and then finally export it as an image. So let me test this feature, because this is the newest feature which Gemini has just added now. So let's click on export as image, and it just happened, right? Within my downloads, I just got this image. Let me quickly open it and see, and this is what we get, right? And by the way, it is transparent, I guess, which is even better, right? So by default, we are getting a transparent PNG image, right? So this is it, right? So this is the export. This is how, so we can actually compare it. So how our previous graphics was looking, this is how exactly our image has come out, and it is transparent. I hope you guys can see, like, there is sort of a blurry background behind, right? So this is Mac OS X preview app, right? This is called the preview app, where for a transparent image, it will show you the background behind it. So we have actually got a transparent PNG image with a vibe coded app within hardly an hour or an hour and a half, right? An hour and a half. So you have got like an MVP of Canva built within hour and a half using vibe coding. I mean, what more do you want? Right? So I really I hope you guys are enjoying it, and you guys are also getting inspired by it. And definitely, see, these sessions are not here that I just keep showing you something. It's not like entertainment. It's not for watching. My suggestion is, don't just watch these videos, these live streams. Connect with me, be live with me between 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. While you're watching, while you're connected with me, you also on your laptop sort of do the same things, build your own vibe coding apps, right? If you have any doubts, any questions, you can ask me over the chat. So basically we can sort of join and build like a community of vibe coders, right? And we can create apps. And basically today's session was sort of to just a warm-up session, a sort of a demo to show you how this whole process works, how we are going to use this process to create more apps in the future, right? So in my next video, I'll share more plans about like what kind of apps I'm planning to build, right? And the idea is, this is vibepreneur, guys. This is not just vibe coding. This is vibepreneur. So vibe coding plus vibe marketing, right? So how do we do marketing? By the way, guys, if you can see my channel, I have been sharing some of the automation related videos, some of the videos regarding using N8N for automation and such, right? So using these N8N automation and so things, we can also do marketing and if we create AI agents which sort of works in their own way, so that is like a vibe marketing, right? So I'm already showing you vibe coding. I also create videos about vibe marketing using N8N and those automation. So we have this both sort of working together, right? Vibe coding plus vibe marketing, it sort of becomes this whole vibepreneur thing, right? Vibe plus entrepreneur. So this is my channel is about, and this is today my first live stream of this channel, and I really enjoyed connecting with you guys, and received so many comments, which is really great. Like in the words of Meet Study, feeling really blessed. Thank you for joining me in today's session, right? And yeah, and please, if you have any questions, doubt, if you could not connect with me in a live stream, you could always connect with, you can always drop a comment over the recorded session of this YouTube video, and I'll try to respond back. And yeah, thank you so much for joining, and until next time, see you, bye bye.